Good morning, everyone. This is your Nilofar ma'am. I hope you all are fine at your homes and your study is going well. So, as you all know that we are doing the syllabus of internal assignment 3. Our subject is SST and in SST we are doing civics. In today's video, I will explain you chapter 5 of civics. Topic of the chapter is Panchayati Raj. So, in the previous chapter, we have discussed about the key elements of a democratic government, and in today's topic, we will discuss about Panchayati Raj. Panchayat, which is a type of government in the villages. So, let's get started. First of all, let's see the introduction of the chapter, that what we are going to discuss in this chapter. What happens after people elect their representatives? So we have discussed in the previous chapter that people elect their representatives to form the government. And what happens after that when people have been elected as representatives? How are decisions made? How they take decisions? Let's look at how this takes place in rural areas. So in this chapter we will discuss that how the decisions take place in the rural areas. Here we look at the Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha, which is a meeting where people directly participate and seek answers from their elected representatives. So Gram Sabha is a kind of meeting which is held in the villages where people directly participate in the meeting and they can ask the questions from their elected representatives and they seek their answers. The Gram Sabha. So what is Gram Sabha? First of all, we will discuss about it. The Gram Sabha is a meeting of all adults who live in the area covered by a panchayat. So the local government of a village is called a panchayat. And what is Gram Sabha? Gram Sabha is a meeting of all adults who live in the area which comes under the panchayat. This could be only one village or a few villages. So the area can cover one village or a few villages. In some states, as in the example above, a village meeting is held for each village. So, in some states, for example, you can see that a village meeting is held for each village, that is called the Gram Sabha. Anyone who is 18 years old or more and who has the right to vote is a member of the Gram Sabha. So, in Gram Sabha, all the people can participate in that meeting who is 18 years old or more than 18 years old and they have the right to vote. They are the member of the Gram Sabha. Here you can see that all the people are sitting. They are sitting for the Gram Sabha only. Here they can participate in the meeting. They can ask their questions. They can seek their answers from their chosen representatives. The next topic which we are going to discuss, that is the Gram Panchayat. After understanding that what is Gram Sabha, let's see what is Gram Panchayat, which is also called Village Panchayat. Every village panchayat is divided into wards, example, smaller areas. So, as you all know that every village has a local government which is called panchayat, and every village panchayat is divided into smaller areas which are called wards. Each ward elects a representative who is known as the ward member Panch. So, from each ward, people elect a representative by voting who is known as the ward member and Panch. All the members of the Gram Sabha also elect a Sarpanch who is the Panchayat President. So all the members of the Gram Sabha means all the people who come under the area of Panchayat. They also select the Sarpanch by voting who is the Panchayat President. The ward Panch and the Sarpanch form the Gram Panchayat. So all the people who come under the area of Panchayat, they form the Gram Sabha, and the ward Panch means each representative of the ward and Sarpanch together they form the Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat is elected for 5 years. The Gram Panchayat has a secretary who is also the secretary of the Gram Sabha. So Gram Panchayat is also elected for 5 years by the people, and the Gram Panchayat has a secretary who is also the secretary of the Gram Sabha. Means the secretary of Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat will be same. This person is not elected person but is appointed by the government. So the secretary of Gram Sabha or Gram Panchayat is not elected by people. It is he or she is appointed by the government. The secretary is responsible for calling the meeting of the Gram Sabha, and he is only the responsible person who call the meeting of Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat and keeping a record of the proceedings. So here you can see the picture. If together you will see, it is a Gram Sabha because the Panchs are there, the Sarpanch is there, and all the members who come under the area of Panchayat, they are also there. So it is Gram Sabha. When you have to talk about Gram Panchayat, so Gram Panchayat is formed by the Panchs, means a representative from each ward, and the Sarpanch. They together form the Gram Panchayat. So now let's read the story to know and understand what is Gram Sabha and what is Gram Panchayat. It is a special day today. Everyone's rushing to get to the Gram Sabha. Do you know why? Because the Gram Sabha is holding its first meeting after the election of the new Gram Panchayat. The people of Hardas village are keen to find out what their new Panchayat leaders have planned for the village. So it's a very special today in the story, and everyone is rushing to get to the Gram Sabha because after the elections of Hardas village, the Gram Sabha is going to be held first time, and all the village people want to see, and they are keen that what their new Panchayat leaders have planned for the village. The Gram Sabha meeting begins with the Panchayat president, who is also called the Sarpanch, and the members of the Panchayat, the Panchs, presenting a plan on repairing the road that connects the village to the main highway. So the Gram Sabha has been started by the Panchayat president, who is called the Sarpanch, and the members of each ward, that are Panchs. They present a plan on repairing the road that connects to the village to the main highway. After this, the discussion moves to the subject of water and water shortages. So after the discussion of road repairing, the discussion of water and water shortage has been started. A villager called Tijia begins the meeting by saying the water problem in Hardas has become very acute. So as I have told you that in Gram Sabha, all the people who come under the area of Panchayat, they can join in the meeting and they can ask the questions from their representatives. So a villager whose name is Tijia, he begin the meeting by saying that water problem in Hardas has become very acute. The hand pump water has gone well below the point up to which the ground has been drilled. So the water level has been down. So now the hand pumps are not able to give water. We hardly get any water in the taps. Women have to go to the Suru river, which is 3 kilometers away, to get water. So because of it, the women have to go to Suru river, which is 3 kilometers away from the village. One of the members suggests piping water from the Suru and making an overhead tank in the village to increase the supply. So one of the member of this Gram Sabha has suggested that a piping water should be there from Suru river, and we can arrange a overhead tank also in the village to increase the supply of water. But the others think that this will be expensive. It's better, they feel, to deepen the hand pumps and clean the wells for this season. Tijia says this is not enough. So other people suggested that they should deepen the hand pumps so they can get the water level at that time, and they can clean the wells for this season also. So after everyone's remark, Tijia again said that this is not enough. We need to do something more permanent as groundwater levels seem to be going down everywhere. So he was not agree to deepen the hand pumps, because he said that groundwater level is going down every year. We are using more water than is seeping into the ground. Another member, Anwar, then tells everyone that he has seen ways of conserving water and refilling it in a village in Maharashtra where he would once gone to visit his brother. So another member of Gram Sabha, whose name was Anwar, he told everyone that he has seen a way of conserving water where the villagers refill the water in the village of Maharashtra. It was called watershed development, and he had heard that the government gave money for this work. And Anwar said that this way of conserving water is called watershed development, and he has also heard that government gives money for this work. In his brother's village, people had planted trees, constructed check dams and tanks. Everyone thought this was an interesting idea and the Gram Panchayat was asked to find out about it in details. So when Anwar has told about this idea, so everyone thought that this was an interesting idea and the Gram Panchayat was asked to find out its details. Here you can see the picture. Watershed management has transformed this barren slope to a green meadow in just 2 years. So here watershed management has been used, which has transformed the barren slope in a green meadow in just 2 years. The next item on the agenda for the Gram Sabha is the finalization of the list of people below the poverty line, means BPL, which had to be approved by the Gram Sabha. So the next discussion was about the BPL, the people who are below the poverty line, and the list has to be approved by the Gram Sabha only. As soon as the list is read out, people begin to whisper, Natwar has just bought a color TV and his son has sent him a new motorcycle. How can he be below the poverty line? So when the list has been read out, the villagers started whispering. They said Natwar has just bought a color TV and his son also sent him a new motorcycle. How can he be below the poverty line? How can he be in the BPL list? Surajmal mutters to the person sitting next to him. Saroj says to Sukhibai, how did Birju's name get onto the list? He has so much land. And another member of Gram Sabha, that was Surajmal, he also mutters to the person who was sitting next to him. He said, how did Birju's name is there in the BPL list? Because he has so much land. This list should have only poor people. And Om Prakash is a landless labourer who can barely make ends meet, yet his name is not on the list. You know that both Natwar and Birju are friends of Amir Chand, who can counter Amir Chand's power. And people were talking that in the BPL list there should be people only who are poor. And Om Prakash is a landless labourer who can barely fulfill his needs, yet his name was not there in the BPL list. And some people were saying, you know that both Natwar and Birju are in the BPL list because they are the friends of Amir Chand and no one can question against Amir Chand's power. Sukhibai says Amir Chand was the earlier zamindar landowner of the village and still has control over a lot of land, but he would get Om Prakash's name put in. So here Sukhibai says that Amir Chand was the earlier zamindar, that's why he was having power in the village still, but we should get Om Prakash's name put in. They were saying that Om Prakash's name should be there in the BPL list because he deserves. The Sarpanch Panchayat President notices people whispering and asks if anyone has anything to say. Saroj tries to provoke Surajmal to ask about Natwar and Birju, but he keeps quiet. So when the Sarpanch has seen that people were whispering, he asked to the people that if they want to say anything. Saroj tried to provoke Surajmal to speak up, but he kept quiet. Amir Chand is sitting in the Gram Sabha keeping an eye on everyone. Then Saroj gets up and says that Om Prakash's name should be in the BPL list. Amir Chand, who was the earlier landowner, he was sitting in the Gram Sabha and he was keeping eye on everyone. Then Saroj stood up and he said that Om Prakash's name should be there in the BPL list because he is a poor person. Others agree that he and his family are very poor. The Sarpanch asks how his name had been missed out. The person who did the survey of BPL families says Om Prakash's house was locked when I went there. So everyone was agreed that Om Prakash's name should be there because he was very poor. The Sarpanch asked to the team who did the survey of the BPL families, and they said Om Prakash's house was locked when they went for the survey. He may have gone somewhere to look for work. The Sarpanch gives instructions that Om Prakash's family income be looked at, and if it is less than what has been decided by the government, his name should be included in the list. Then the Sarpanch said that the income of Om Prakash should be checked, and if it is less than what is decided by the government, that his name should be there in the BPL list. So through the story you can easily understand that how Gram Sabha functions, how Gram Panchayat works for people, how people can ask questions to their representatives chosen by them only. So this was the first part of the chapter explanation. In this video, I have explained you how Gram Panchayat functions, how Gram Sabha works, and the remaining chapter I will explain you in the second part of the video. Till that, keep learning.